Well, the whole point is, why do people need steroids? If you're not doing a show, you're not bodybuilding, you're not competing, why do it?
I always say, if you're not competing in a show or something like that, or bodybuilding, or if you are an adult male that is of age and, you know, it's time to transition into synthetic testosterone because you can't produce it at the rate anymore, those are the two times you only need it. If you are just a kid in the gym
right,
looking to get girls, as we would say, you got to say that is absolutely
absolutely.
I did it, but I did it naturally until I decided to bodybuild. So.
Yo, it's your boy, it's Phil Wham Bam Benamino. It's another Wham Bam Wednesday, baby. You know, the show about ordinary people who have done extraordinary things, and today is no different. I got MJ in the house. No, it's not Michael Jackson. No, it's not Michael Jordan. It's better than that. But before I introduce him, you gotta subscribe, baby. Click the link down below, hit the subscribe button. It costs zero. No effort whatsoever. Just click the little link right there, and you'll make some people really happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bring to you one of the finest bodybuilders. He's an entrepreneur. We got Myron Jackson in the house. What's up, baby?
Man, that's a hell of an introduction, man.
Hey, man, well, it's a hell of a man right here. I got to give you what you deserve.
Look, I'm gonna start carrying you with me everywhere I go to introduce me. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you said I'm going to carry you with me. I just pick you in my little arm right there.
Man,
you know?
thank you.
You look like you could definitely do that too.
I definitely could. In my older years. You feel me?
So let's talk about this journey, man, of bodybuilding. How the hell did you get into bodybuilding?
Man.
Were you beat up as a kid? You know, were you picked on? What was it, man? You get bullied?
You know I get that question asked a lot. And I'm very honest and transparent.
Yeah.
I started working out so I can get the girls.
All right.
I wanted to get the attention from
the
girls.
You had a purpose. I
had a purpose, and I've told this story before. I was like, one time we were in a club here in Atlanta, and I was with a friend of mine, and we were looking. We was like, man, I was looking around. I was like, man, all the guys, the big guys, the guys that are shaped, they had all the girls.
Yeah.
They had them all. So I told my boy, I was like, yo, we got to start working out. We got to get our weight up. We got to start looking, because I was fresh out of high school. So I was maybe about 21, 22. I was like, man, it's time for me to start looking like a grown man. So went to the gym on Monday, and I fell in love. And it was just like a transformation for me. And I literally picked up weight really quickly. I literally gained probably like 20 to 30 pounds in like the first couple of months.
What'd you fall in love with? Let's be honest. What'd you fall in love with when you went into the gym? Because let me tell you what, gym sucks. You go in there, it hurts, you sweat, you push, you know, to the last thing.
It was just being able to create something with your own two hands. When you start to see your body change,
yes,
and you say, oh my God, I can do this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
true.
I can do this and nobody can stop me. That's the one great thing I feel like about working out is, especially when you get in shape, your race doesn't matter, your age doesn't matter, your culture, your pedigree, none of that matters. It's just you in the weights, you versus you.
It's so funny you say that, because I actually had this conversation with a person the other week.
Yeah.
We're talking about going to the gym, and he didn't want to go to the gym because he was afraid, because he was just getting started.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I go to the gym, people make fun of me because, you know, I'm not at their caliber, and I can't lift what you lift and all these things. And I'm like, you don't understand the gym community.
It's
like, there's a level of respect that you showed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a reality.
It's that
like,
head nod.
Yeah.
It's that
like,
head
you don't go in there judging people that, I do more than you and this. Nah, they go in there and respect that.
There's this level of mutual respect, that head nod that you say, I see you, bro, across the way. Especially when you start seeing each other more and more, you give each other a pound. But when it comes to the gym, more importantly, like you said, the respect, it's not a competition. Everybody's looking at each other, and everyone is bigging each other up and supporting each other. And it's a very welcoming pace. I know it can look a little intimidating, the clanking, the sound, the music, you know what I'm saying? But it's really about helping each other out. You'll find a really solid brotherhood in the gym, for sure, without a doubt.
I think, it's changed quite a bit, because there was a time where I feel like you went in there and you were looking, how much you benching? You know what I'm saying? What you putting out? What's your numbers looking like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to try to compete with that. But I think now, it's all about the look, right? How do you look when that shirt comes off?
Yeah.
And I see more and more people working out without their clothes on. You work out without your shirt on?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Only online.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Listen, so
that's every time we see you.
Yeah, when y'all see me. Quick story. Like, obviously, you know who Sammy and Panda is, Mike Rashid, CT. You see all of these guys on the internet. Well, I was kind of on the outside of that because I really wasn't on the internet. And I used to say to myself, why the fuck do they have their shirt off? I've never been in the gym without my shirt off. I was like, that's weird to me.
Right.
But it wasn't until I got on the internet realizing that was a level of, I guess, motivation to inspire. You know what I'm saying? While you're working out. Because I'd never seen that before. So when I started doing it.
Or trying to get the girls.
Or trying to get the girls, a little bit of both. And then I realized when I started doing it on camera, the following started to grow. It was like, oh man, this inspires me. I wanted to work out, and I used that to my advantage. But honestly speaking, Phil, I never take my shirt off when I'm just working out. No. When I'm just really, when the camera isn't on, my shirt is I actually fully covered. Like you can ask my wife. I literally either have a long sleeve shirt on or I got an oversized shirt on. I never take my shirt. I'm actually really shy. People would not believe that because if they look at my social media, they'd be like, oh man, this guy is arrogant. He got his shirt off. He's sweating all over the place. Who the hell does he think he is? They hate me. But that's okay. Nah, but it's just for motivational purposes. Honestly, bro, I'm really covered up a lot, man.
I believe it. I believe it. You walk. You're a very humble guy. I've already got to know you a little bit talking prior to. Really enjoy that. But honestly, if I looked like you, I'd have my shirt off too. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? So,
somebody said that in the comments because they was getting on me.
You worked hard. You worked hard at that, type of thing. So let's talk about the whole bodybuilding. So you started talking about steroids. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to ask. But you did it for the girls.
I did it for the girls.
Got to the gym finally,
and I'll tell you this: there's a magical moment that happens during that journey. It was like once your initial reason, like I said, for the girls, then structure and discipline came. And I was like, oh man, I really like this. I really like enjoying to do this. The girls, that was just a bonus on top. You know, it happened relatively easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that shit gets old after some time. You know what I'm saying? But it became more important therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, there have been times in my life where, you didn't know if I was sweating or crying. My whole life is on fire, but I'm still showing up to the gym.
Right.
Because it really gave me that therapy that I needed to get that energy out. But I'll tell you a quick story. So how I fell into bodybuilding, I was hanging out with my mom, and she was saying a friend of hers was in a bodybuilding show. And I was like, a bodybuilding show? I didn't even really know what that was. I was like, you want to go with me? I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went with her, and I'm looking at the guys on stage, and I was like, oh my God, I can do that. Yeah. I can do that, right? So I ended up meeting someone at the gym, at the show, and they were a coach, and they were looking at me. It was like, do you compete? And I was like, nah. They was like, yo, you should let me train you. So one thing led to another. A week later, I was in the gym training for my first bodybuilding show. Really? It took off. It just went crazy. And I never got my pro card because life took over, but I did enjoy the progress because I literally took myself from when I met my first trainer from 220 pounds up to 315 pounds in a matter of a few years. You know what I'm saying? And I competed for my first couple of shows, which were natural shows. And then I went to the dark side. And I started cycling and taking gear. And then that took me to a whole nother level.
Big steroids, huh? Is that how you got big?
Yeah, well, see, you know what's funny about these idiots online? They have no concept of how this works, right? Yeah. And funny enough, when I decided to be done with bodybuilding, I pretty much came off everything, and now I just do TRT. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I've come back down to my natural weight before I started cycling, which was 250 pounds.
So that's your natural. That's where you walk.
That was where I started at before I started cycling. I started cycling at 250 pounds, and ironically, I'm back down to 250 pounds.
So let's talk about cycle, because that's back in the day. That was common, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You had to get, but where did you get it? That's the whole thing. It's off the black market. Who you trust in?
A guy who knows a guy. Right. That's always how it starts.
Got a little crooked nose over there.
Yeah. Him over there. There's always a bro in the gym that you can get your steroids from. Yeah. But it was through my coach. They knew someone. They trusted me, and I'm really blessed and fortunate. I had some really dope people around me that cared about my health. So I never really blasted or did a whole bunch of gear, you know what I mean, in my lifetime. We really relied on just the hard work and the eating and the consistency. And before you know it, I developed a physique, added with a little bit of compound and steroids, and then I was off to the
What was your stack? What were you using?
I was really running only, I'll tell you this, I've only taken Tren one time. Only one time. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I felt like I wanted to punch everybody in the face. It gives you this aggression. Yeah, and it makes you strong as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you. I was crazy. But honestly, man, we really kept it simple. Like during the off season, I just would run some testosterone, maybe a little D-ball, and that would pretty much be it. And obviously all of my estrogen blockers and stuff like that. But when we were getting ready for a show, that changed. I was still running tests where we would throw in things like EQ, Masteron, Winstro, VAR, like a whole bunch of cutting drugs to get you lean as hell.
Cutting drugs for horses.
Yeah, shit for horse. No, dead ass. The shit that we was using was like for horse. I remember one time a buddy of mine showed me his vial. And it literally had on there for horses. Yeah. And then he wanted me to stick him with this goddamn harpoon of. I was like, man, I'm not fucking sticking you with that. That shit is huge, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a whole holy ass. But nah, it is some pretty nasty stuff out there. And I'm really, really blessed that I didn't have any complications. And that's why in my men's coaching community, you know, I told you I'm having my own stack where peptides and testosterone replacement and therapy. Because if you get it, I want you to do it the right way. You know what I mean? With blood work, the healthy way. Because when you're getting your stuff off the internet or you're getting it from a bro, a lot of guys don't get their blood work done, right? So it's kind of like, I use this analogy, it's like playing darts in the dark. I don't know where your target is, so I don't know the right dosage you're supposed to have. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it can cause a lot of complications and issues down the road. Yeah,
that's for sure. Do you ever have any complications with the steroids?
Never. I never had any issues. Like I said, I never blasted a whole lot. I did. Oh, I'll tell you this. My apologies. See, y'all tried to catch me. Phil. Yeah, there you go. I did have one complication. I ended up developing gynecomastia. That's when. You've heard the term bitch tits, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you get breast tissue behind the nipple area where it looks like really inflamed and swollen. I did get that, and I had to actually have that removed several years ago. But that was only because when I was coming off, I didn't know how to come off properly using proper PCT and stuff like that. Like getting your natural testosterones to kick back in, and because
that's a real thing.
No, it's a very real thing. A lot of guys don't know that, and that's why they walking around like they got, breast milk getting ready to pop about their titties.
Oh man, that makes you not want to take that step.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Right, you built this great body, but now you're insecure to take off your shirt because you got bitch tits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really going to push. Doing it the healthy way. You know what I mean? Especially more importantly, not even for bodybuilding, for everyday average guys. So many guys in my men's community were walking around with low testosterone. I told you, I sent 70 people to get their blood work done, and they had testosterone of a 12-year-old girl.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's, realistic? Because it is statistics. Yeah. And legitimately, you take their blood and you find that out. Yeah. But why is that so low all of a sudden? Why is it now all of a sudden the world is changing, and you see like 9 out of 10 people you meet are on TRT. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to males, and females are starting to get into it as well.
Yeah, my wife and my mother are on testosterone.
Oh, they really?
Yeah, my wife is premenopause, and my mother is already obviously in menopause, and it's a serious thing when it comes to women, but more importantly to men. Why it's a thing? I think because more information is out. You know what I'm saying? Guys that are or maybe 35 and up or in their 40s. They're realizing you don't have to feel like shit. A lot of them guys are just reserved to be like, oh, okay, I'm in my 40s. I'm supposed to feel old and tired. Right. My manhood, my meat isn't supposed to be working. And then I'll be like, are you fucking kidding me? Hell no. Everything is supposed to be firing and on point. So I think there's more information out here, and I think guys are taking advantage of it. And they're realizing you don't have to deal with being tired, being stressed out all the time, because like you said, what is the cause of low testosterone? Stress, overconsumption of alcohol, bad eating, lack of being active, just a multitude of different things. So it's running rampant out here. As many guys that I know are taking advantage of it, but there's still a huge part of the men's population that isn't. That's why they walking around here so sensitive and crying like bitches about everything, especially online.
Yeah, always the haters out there. Man. Always be the haters.
Always, bro.
But they got nothing else to do. It's okay.
Nothing else to do.
Like get in the gym.
Yeah,
get in the gym, man.
Like you can do it too.
That's
Stop
right.
being like lazy, man.
Exactly. Let's talk about the word steroids though, because that does come around, especially in the younger age. A lot of kids today, they really don't understand TRT. They're like, oh, that's a steroid. You're on steroids. Right. No, your body actually produces testosterone. You need a certain level to keep up that. Now, if you go beyond that, then it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But abuse. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I sit there and I look at people and they're like, oh, he's on steroids. That's why he looks the way he looks.
Yeah.
And you sit back and you go, no, actually, he works out. Yeah. He actually puts in the time and the effort. Because I'm pretty sure if he shot himself with steroids and never showed up at the gym, he would not look like that.
He would not look like that.
Am I right?
The work still has to be done.
Yeah.
And it's even harder, and you're taking a real chance if you're not doing it the right way, especially from a ligament perspective, right? You're taking drugs and you're growing at a fast pace. Well, the muscles are growing, but your joints aren't growing. You see, they aren't able to keep up with the amount of weight you're pushing. You're probably doing 10x of the weight that you would be using if you're natural. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So there are a lot of implications. I will tell you this, because I do get a lot of young guys that ask me about it and give me my thoughts. I always tell them
They think
this.
you're that dude in the gym.
Yeah, they think I'm
you're
the
that bro that's gonna get them hooked up.
Look, our mutual friend Quan, right? He released my blood work publicly, and people were surprised. They thought I was blasting all of this shit, and they was like, "Oh, he just looks like he's on." I don't look like I work hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't rely on that, and I will admit I am, because of my parents and grandparents, genetically gifted, so I lean into that as well. But I always tell young men, especially anyone that's looking to do that, maximize your natural potential. And why I say that is because if you start too early, yes, you're going to look great in the beginning, but you have a long life ahead of you. You feel me? So when I say maximize your natural potential, you ever see a bodybuilder or older bodybuilder that is done with the sport and they send to shrivel up like a raisin? They don't look the same.
Man, I tell you right, one of my heroes, Ronnie Coleman, man. If you look at him, he can't even walk.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So I won't use Ronnie for an example, but I'll use other bodybuilders that I've seen. It's because they didn't maximize their natural potential, meaning their foundation was shaky. If your foundation is built on just chemicals and steroids, so when you can't do this shit forever.
Right.
When you come off, you're going to shrink back down to wherever you started. So if you were an 18-year-old kid that was 100 pounds soaking wet and you blew up to 250 pounds of solid muscle, well, when you come off for a regular life, you're going to shrivel down because all that muscle you made wasn't real.
Right.
It didn't belong to you. It belonged to that bottle and those steroids. But so I say, if you're going to do it, maximize your natural potential. That way you're not dependent on it.
Right.
You're still dependent on the hard work and the effort and the nutrition part.
Well, the whole point is, why do people need steroids? I mean, let's be honest. If you're not doing a show, you're not bodybuilding, you're not competing to something where you need to get to that edge, why do it? And, there's so many kids today that are just doing it just because they want to look good.
Yeah, that's a problem, the recreation use, right? I always say, if you're not competing in a show or something like that, or bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever it is in an active competition, or if you are an adult male that is of age and, it's time to transition into synthetic testosterone because you can't produce it at the rate anymore, those are the two times you only need it. If you were just a kid in the gym, looking to get girls, as we would say, you got to say that is absolutely awesome. I did it, but I did it naturally until I decided to bodybuild. So,
yeah, but didn't you say your very first two shows that you did, you were natural?
Yeah, my first two shows that I won were SMBF here in Atlanta, and I actually won both of those shows.
You won them both.
I won both.
You got photos on that? We got to pop those up.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. And it was great, man. But you're right, man. The recreation use. Man, I know people who on gear, they ain't never stepped on stage. They just want to look the part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially the younger generation. I don't never, and not to call anyone out, this isn't a call anyone out, but let's say C-Bump, right? Missed the Olympia for the classic physique. I believe he started running gear like at a teenage age, like 18, 19 or something like that, right? I think it just my personal opinion, I think that sends out the wrong message, especially because he has a lot of following of a lot of young men. But he achieved what he achieved, but they're going to just mimic in what he does. So now you see guys that are 21, 22 on gear, and I'm like, that is crazy.
Right.
When we started working
growing.
out, you're still growing like naturally. You haven't even tapped in. You're not even mentally fully developed. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're altering so many things, and it's scary, and I'm really afraid of them. Like, I meet guys, all the guys. I mean, I met this one dude, man, this dude was so big, huge guy. Man, this guy was 21. He looked like he was 40 in the face.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a real problem, and it's scary to see these young men going that direction so early. You know?
Well, it's unfortunate too, because a lot of times you don't know what they're getting because they're not getting it prescribed, and they don't have doctors actually giving it to them, obviously. So, people are trying to make a buck on the street.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're really putting inside of you.
Yeah.
A lot of that might just be sodium water, you know what I mean, type of thing as well.
Yeah.
But the mental part of it, they think they're getting that jacked. and you know it gives them that boost. You know, that sugar pill.
I've heard horror story. I remember I used to date this chick. She was out in Arizona for so many years. She couldn't figure out why she couldn't win a show. Right, for so many years she was getting fake gear. Her body would never change. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember when she gave me that call, and I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And this is the reason why you need to go to your doctor to get what you're looking for. Because if you're getting off the black market for someone you don't know or trust,
right.
I've seen some people get really hurt really, really bad. You know what I mean? Going that route. So please.
I wonder how, you know, the average lifespan of somebody who's been on steroids for a while, you know, what that is. I wonder what that number would be like. Because, you know, I actually say this joke. I say, you know, I don't ever see a fat 80-year-old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever see a big gut 80-year-old?
Nah,
you don't.
You don't.
They don't exist because, unfortunately, they've died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because their health was not put first.
Exactly.
You know, but I wonder with steroids, you know, if there's any 80-year-olds out there that have been on steroids, give us a holler.
Yeah, please, man. I'll be curious to see those numbers. We're going to chat GPT those numbers up to see what we can come up with.
Because, you know, there are so many people that have irregular heartbeats. They have different growths and stuff. A lot of people overdoing growth hormones and stuff. And that's created a lot of health problems. And there are those complications that are real that actually come with those things. Even kids need to know about.
Even the growth hormone, most people can't even afford growth hormone.
Right.
If you're taking growth hormone and you're not financially stable, it's probably fake because it's very expensive. And to take advantage of growth hormone, you have to be on it for a significant amount of time. You can't run GH for a couple months to see results. If you're looking to put on new muscle tissue, you see what I'm saying? You have to really be on it for a significant amount of time. So a lot of the stuff they're getting online or from their bros is fake. It's fake as hell. And when it comes to bodybuilders, I remember it was a period of time where it was 1 year we lost like 7 bodybuilders. It was like back to back to back. It was very scary. I think now it's a little dangerous because I believe and I could be completely wrong, but what I'm seeing, I think they're leaning too much on the chemical and not necessarily the hard work. You see what I'm saying? Because technology, everything has changed, and you have access to more now. Right. So instead of going in the gym and working, busting your ass and making sure you're getting all your meals, or they lean a little bit more heavily on the chemical side. And I think that could be causing heart issues as well.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. What do you think is more important? The work that you put inside the gym or what you put inside your mouth?
Pause. I don't know, man. I've heard this before. You know, people attach numbers, percentages to it. 80% of training or nutrition, 20% of training. But I tell you, feel like this, bro. Both are necessary equally. You have to be active, you have to be moving, and you have to make sure you eat right. I was on a coaching call this morning with all of my guys in my coaching community, and we talked about this. You ever go to your commercial gym, LA Fitness, Crunch, any of those gyms? You ever walk in there from day one, 365 days later, you see the same people and they all look the same. Right. You have to say to yourself, well, why is this? Why is no one changing?
Because I work out to eat.
Exactly. When they leave,
I'm Italian. I'm not gonna lie. Right. Sometimes I gotta work out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Right. When mom comes in town.
So that lets you know all of those individuals that leave that gym, they go back to their shitty ass eating. They just showing up for the rim. So if you really truly want to change, nutrition is a huge part of it. So if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say I would lean more heavily towards nutrition. Yeah. Because I've changed. I remember I had a few lady clients a couple of years ago. I changed them because they had a lot of ailments like knees and elbows. I changed them with barely any working out. Just sticking to their nutrition and walking. Yeah. And just making sure they're active so they can burn those calories and just be active because it's important, especially as you get older. And resistance training. Resistance and strength training is the quickest way to change your physique, without a doubt. You know, it's good that you say that because you can work with all types. And you know, I've obviously experienced knee issues. Right now they want to do 2 shoulder replacements, which really drives me insane because I like to lift. I want to lift. I want to, but you can't. Like when you're not able, I shouldn't say can't. I hate the fucking word can't because I've been doing I can'ts my whole life. But when you're not able to, okay, do it the way you want to do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? It really affects your mind. Yeah, affects your mental. It's a whole mental game now and stuff. So, but you know, to know that, hey, you can still do it with the fork. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You can still do it with a fork. Yeah. You just have to be more mindful. And you got to be more mindful, and you have to do less weight, maybe more resistance, like you said. They don't understand the concept yet of contracting and squeezing. And then on the other side, they're too dependent on that with these science-based lifters. You know, they believe in all of this bullshit instead of just going in and working out. You know what I mean? So
do you see a lot of gimmicks and stuff out there? A lot of people using certain gimmicks and stuff, putting on those slings and different things like that. You know, try to get up a little bit more weight.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of that. I don't know, man. I think when it comes to the gimmicks and the Instagram and the trends and the TikTok, I think that's why I know that's why I resonate so well with my audience, because I'm old school. The old school way doesn't change, and it still works. The wheel still works. We keep it basic and we keep it simple. You don't need to create a new workout to build deltoids or to develop your legs. So I think a lot of guys get caught up in that, and they trying to change something, or they're looking for clicks and likes. And then you see, like you said, I saw one girl that got called out. She was in a powerlifting competition. This was like a couple years ago. And underneath her suit, she had the slingshot. And she didn't think anybody would notice.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I'm like, man, is it that serious? Apparently so, man.
Apparently so.
I don't know, man. These people are crazy.
That's funny. Well, the one thing that I do, because I follow you and I see some of your workouts, but you move. Like for a big guy, it's not all about just going there and pounding some weights. Yeah. You're always doing movement with it and getting that cardio in as well. So it's fluid. And I think that's the one thing I took from Gary Brecka, who I work with. The one thing I always said, wake up in the morning, do 30 minutes, just move. And just walk. Just go outside, take a walk, do so. Just get your body moving. And there's something to say for that. And people don't realize that, but that's the reality. Like you could walk on a treadmill at an incline and get just as much benefit as you do if you wanted to go sprint. A couple miles, right?
Exactly.
That type of thing.
Exactly. No, I'm glad that you said that, because when I lost the weight, I was still, when I made the decision, okay, it's time for me to make a change, because I'm getting older and I wanted to be online because I wanted to start these businesses. So I had to be present and I had to look the part. I couldn't be a 300 plus bodybuilder in off season. You know what I'm saying? It's just not appealing, right?
What was your highest you were?
340.
340?
I was 340 pounds.
That was a whole 100 pounds more?
Yeah.
So you are.
Yeah, it
That's
was
another person.
Bro, it was. I had sleep apnea. It was bad. I couldn't walk upstairs without sweating. Couldn't barely tie my shoes.
Wow.
It was horrible. Yeah. But I was chasing something, right? Sure. I was chasing size, and when I realized that I needed to make a change to be online and to be more healthier, that's when I started doing more HIIT workouts, being more mobile. I was doing Pilates, yoga. I was doing any and everything, because I realized motion is very important as you get older. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously I got a lot of kids and my grandbabies. I want to be able to keep up with them. So I've kind of changed my style of training. And I think eventually I'm going to transition out of just bodybuilding style training. You know what I mean? I want to be more of a hybrid athlete. You know what I mean? I want to start back sprinting, and because my goal is, as I get closer to 50, I want to continue to drop more and more weight, and I just want to live more of a healthier lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And being mobile.
You talked a little bit about the peptides and stuff, that being more of a natural way. Have you gotten into that a lot more? Do you feel the benefits, and is that something you recommend more? Because obviously it's out there, and I use peptides as well. Yeah. For my shoulders, a BPC 157 every single day, and a TV 500 is like it's like
the numbers.
Brushing my teeth every morning. You know what I mean? So
every day, right?
It's got it's got to have it, but there are some definitely some good things that can help.
Yeah, man. I didn't for years. I didn't know much about peptides. I used to hear it all the time. And all the guys that I would hear from would be like these big ass steroid guys, and I'd be like, man, I ain't taking no more shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Put something in me.
Yeah, y'all just want to put something in. And it wasn't until I got probably a couple of years ago, and then I met Quan recently. And then he educated me on peptides and what they were and how they work. And I had been dealing with a lot of inflammation in my knees and my shoulders, and he was telling me how that could help. Yep. And I can tell you this, bro, Phil, them goddamn peptides, that BPC. Yeah, I fucking live by it. Yeah, I couldn't imagine not having
a lot of benefits to it. A lot more than we even think.
Man, just
trying to find out more and more.
Yeah, I remember I told Quan this. I called him. I said, bro, you done fucked up. I was like, you messed up. you making me feel like I'm in my 30s and 20s again. Because like my elbows didn't hurt as much, my knees weren't as sore as much and tender. And I was just like, man, I feel great. What is this? And then he was just breaking it down to me. He put me on like a Wolverine. He called it the Wolverine stack or whatever it was. It's like a blend of peptides.
That's his own stack. He called it
the Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
It was literally blue. I was like, man, what is this? You got me shooting up, man. What is this blue? Is this safe? But nah, the peptides were a real thing. I was definitely not a believer at first until I did my own research, and then I obviously put it on myself as a trial, and I was like, bro, I can't go without it.
Yeah,
I have to have them. You know what I'm saying? So they are very important, and they're real. They work. So if you're on the fence trying to figure out if you want to take peptides or not, let me tell you, do it.
And a big shout out to the Gentle Giant with Qualms.
Yes.
Go ahead and give him a call, because let me tell you, he educates the shit out of you.
Yes.
So he makes you, and he's very smart, man. He knows exactly what he's doing. Right. He's not trying to just make a dollar. He's not trying to sell you something you don't need. He's actually, he really cares about your health and trying to make you better, which is important and stuff.
He cares.
What about cold plunging and stuff? You cold plunge?
I tried it. I tried that shit,
what do you mean you tried it?
Man, I probably got my ankle in there. I was like, hell no, y'all crazy. And Quan been trying to get me to come over there to do
cold
it.
Plunge, man. 3 minutes a day. That's like routine for me too, man.
Okay.
Cold plunge changed my life, dude.
Okay, so I did try this. They told me start with cold showers to work your way up to it. So you've convinced me. I'm going to try it because I know it helps. It helps with what? Inflammation.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what. You cannot get out of a cold plunge and be in a bad mood. You just
Really?
won't be. Once you are out of that cold plunge, you will thank me. You'll be like, wow, I'm in the greatest mood. It's like a new drug.
How often do you cold plunge?
Every day.
You're lying. You serious?
I'm dead serious. You could ask Rocco right over there.
Rocco,
every day.
You serious?
I got 2 here.
You do it?
We go, yeah. I try to get him to do it.
I can't do it.
You should. Why?
I'm too young. I'm not paying.
I'm not paying. This is
Not yet.
It's true. Hey, I'm not 44 anymore.
Right.
I'm 55. You know what I'm saying?
You look good though.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to get to 56.
And as you know what's so funny?
So I'm trying to hack everything I can.
My wife, this may be why we brought this up. My wife told me 2 days ago there's a company that's trying to send me a cold plunge pod or bucket or something.
The Cold Life? We got to get the Cold Life in there.
Okay,
we're going to get the Cold Life. Cold Life is the best one that's out there.
Okay,
that's my boys. Started right here from Alpharetta. They live in Miami now.
Oh, really?
Actually, partner with Ultimate Human with Gary Brecka and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg and it's the best. I got one here. We're going to throw you in it afterwards.
All right, cool.
We're going to throw you in it afterwards.
And for you, I'll do it for you.
That's a vertical one. So
I'm not a pussy, so I'll try.
All right.
But I put my. I was like, man, y'all people crazy as hell. What is?
Listen, I've had some that jumped right out of it. I had some UFC fighters couldn't do it.
So how long are you in there?
3 minutes.
You were in there for 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
No, but you had to work yourself up to 3 minutes. It didn't start out.
Let me tell you
what.
No, the first 30 seconds suck.
Yeah,
but it's a mental game, bro. It's like anything
just
else.
mentally, you go to a different
What time
place.
do you wake up in the morning to go to the gym?
I'm usually up at 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning. You know how many people in the world right now are getting up at 3 in the morning to go to the gym? Not many.
No, not many.
Not many,
Yeah.
right? Not many. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
It's what you told yourself what you need to do and how you start your day. You know what I'm saying? And I got into that point. I got to a point where, you know what? I felt better after I did it, so why wouldn't I do it? And the whole point was, once you got in, it was like the first win of the day. Okay? I challenged myself. I got that first win. I get out of bed, I go right to the cold plunge. First thing I freaking do. I'm miserable. It sucks. But after about 20, 30 seconds after freezing, that 3-minute timer goes off. It's like, boom, win number one. Win number one. Here we go. We're going to start our day.
So what does it do for your body, for your mechanics?
It's inflammation, man. Inflammation real bad. Obviously, as you're getting older, I beat up my body playing ball, for 17 years and everything else. But, knee replacements, arm, doing all the things. We didn't have the gear and equipment these kids got today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things that they got from Hammer Strength and Under Armour and all these things, I mean,
it's
the
dumbbells
equipment's
and a
different.
barbell.
Everything equipment's different, and what they're wearing is different. You know what I'm saying? Compression shit, shit.
Right. You just had a belt and dumbbells and a bar.
Man, once in a while, we'd be able to afford a wristband. You know what I'm saying? Just to catch a sweat, stuff.
Right.
So it's much different. So your body changes, and as it changes, you gotta
adjust.
You gotta adjust to it.
Dang,
So
you
that's
motivated
it.
me. All right, it's time to show up now.
Time to show up.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna make it a part of my routine.
Absolutely, it's part of my routine. Same with red light. Red light too, man.
Yeah.
20 minutes a day.
Quan put me on a red light too.
Yeah,
he actually sent me a red light for my shoulders. It's like a pad or whatever I put on there.
Yep.
He has this this, I don't know, this cream, he calls it crack.
Yeah. Cracker. You got exomes cream. I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, and that actually worked, man. I
He
put it
does
on
push
my
that on you. He pushed it, but it works.
It worked. You gotta love this dude, man.
Yeah.
Quan is something else. But no, the red light is working. I have tried that, but definitely he been trying to get me over there to his facility to do the cold plunge. I always make up excuse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm busy, man. I got stuff to do.
Busy my ass. He's like, it's too cold.
You a punk. Nah, I'm gonna do it now. You the boat. Now that I put it on camera, now
There you
I
go.
have
Now
to
you got to do it. Oh, we're gonna video it. We're gonna get you in there. So let's talk about 3 a.m. Getting up at 3 a.m. Why 3 a.m? What's your day like, man?
Honestly, Phil, it was.
I mean, because honestly, if you work out at 3 p.m, you're getting the same workout in, aren't you? Or is there something about that morning? Like, what is it?
Honestly, it all started. I had a 20-year trucking career. I used to drive trucks, CDL, cross country, over the road, local, and everything.
Yep.
So in trucking,
Your boy Wham Bam had a CDL license too back in the day.
No way.
Yes, I used to drive a Pepsi truck.
A Pepsi truck. Oh, really?
My father worked for Pepsi for 42 years.
Damn.
Man. And I used to work with him in the summer, so I had to get my CDL to do that.
Okay,
So,
that's what's up, man. I did Budweiser for a little bit. I did flatbed. I did some of it all. I did Coke. I did all of it, man.
Yeah.
Curtain side. But it started back then because I was over the road sometimes, and my schedule would change, and sometimes I would be local, and my schedule would change from week to week, sometimes month to month or year to year. And there was this one time where I had to be at work. I think it was like at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I tried to do my workouts after work, and it was the most horrible thing I could have done.
Right.
Because when whether you have a physical, a demanding job or a mental job, when you get off of work, the last thing you're thinking about a lot of times is going to the gym. And if you do go, are you performing at your best, right? So I said, I'm going to try to do this morning and see how I feel. And a lot of times I thought that, oh man, I'm going to be tired by the time I get to work. Complete opposite. I was full of energy. I was already ready to go. I just had life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I kind of kept that routine going. You know what I mean? I pushed that on a lot of guys that are working a 9 to 5. Get your workout in before you go to work. Trust me, you may feel like you're going to be lethargic and tired, but trust me, that second wind is going to kick in. You're already mentally stimulated and locked in, and you're going to have a great workout and a great work day. So
Do you get that 3 or 4 o'clock lunge though? You need a nap or what?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you by 2 o'clock.
Okay.
That's when you take one of them 5-hour energies or something like that to help you push you through those next few hours. But it worked though, and it was really interesting because I had some of the best workouts early in the morning, and I got a lot done.
How long are you sleeping?
Sleeping about 6 hours.
6 hours.
5 to 6 hours.
So do you feel sleep is important or what?
Yes, it is important. It's very important, but I don't feel like you need to sleep 8 hours a day. 9 hours. I was like,
no, you really don't. Actually, they say Chinese, right?
Yeah.
The Chinese live the longest, 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah.
That is their number of sleep.
Anytime that I sleep over 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours at sometimes,
I'm more tired.
I'm more tired, and my body hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like I guess I've been laying in the bed too long, and I'm like, man, I just feel like I got hit by a truck.
Right.
So my body just naturally won't even sleep past 6 hours now.
Do you have a bedtime though? Do you have a bedtime, a sleep time?
Yes. If I'm up, like tomorrow, I got to get up again early because we're going out of town. So I'm usually in the bed probably about 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
I keep saying
8 o'clock.
I got to do better on that. That is the one thing I was literally saying. It's like I got to have a bedtime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds crazy being an adult, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm 55, you got to have a bedtime.
You got to have a
but it's
bedtime.
like, you have a wake-up time, you need to have a sleep time.
Yeah,
where you go into bed, you actually can shut down. The problem is this mind don't shut down.
Your mind will shut. Well, I've had to get some help with that.
Yeah.
So I have a ritual that I do, me and my wife. And with the cannabis, when we smoke at night, I'm asleep within 30 minutes. Sleep, boom, knocked out, get right back up, and, a few hours later, and I'm going off to the races. But now why I get up so early is mainly because I'm busy. I'm saying I'm still on my journey of building this system and building my own empire, so I have to work. Yeah. And I realized that I can't remember what book it was, and this may be bad timing, but I did hear it from Diddy one time.
From Diddy? Oh, were you at his party?
No, I wasn't at the party.
You were at a Diddy party.
No baby
and you
oil.
Heard some. And you look like a guy that got baby oil
Nah,
down, though.
I mean, I
Come
use
on,
baby
man.
oil.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Now here we go. Here we come.
The truth comes out, right? No. So check this out. I think he was on one of those reality shows, and I heard him say this, and then I read it in a book. He said, all the money in the world is made before 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, what does that mean, right? And then I really was thinking about
market's already going.
Market's already open now that I'm day trading. I'm like, I understand. So I'm up. And obviously, I'm already up working out and training, and then I'm going here. I'm getting set for day trading. I got to check in with my customers and check in with my clients. I'm doing so much. I've done pretty much everything I need to do before 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And then I pretty much have the rest of the day to myself to get ready for the next day or hang out with my family or kick it with my wife, go to lunch. So it just became such a great habit for me. And it's been extremely beneficial. So that's the reason why I get up so early. It isn't, and I also tell you this, I also feel like I'm beating everybody else. Because who else is up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I was like, I'm beating y'all ass. Catch up.
That's
you
right.
Feel me? And
That's
subconsciously,
I'm ahead.
It gives me that. I'm ahead. You know what I'm saying? So why not take advantage of it? But I would encourage anyone to try it. You know, some people say, I can't do that. I don't fuck about it. Whatever. Those are just excuses.
No. Hi, I'm Phil Benamino, CEO and founder of Cost Plus Processing, the company that provides financial services to your business. We provide things such as POS systems, ATM machines, and check services. One of the biggest things that we strive ourselves here at Cost Plus Processing is our customer service. We are an A+ rated with the BBB with customer service, and we're proud to say we're here in the United States with all of our customer service agents. Our objective is to actually teach you and educate you about the costs that you're currently paying and show you ways where you can eliminate those costs that you no longer have to pay. One of the biggest programs that are out there today is our dual pricing program, where you actually can offer your customers now a choice of how they want to pay. Do they want to pay with cash or do they want to pay with card? And if they pay with card, it actually helps you to absorb the card fees, so you no longer have to pay the fees like you've done for many, many years. Cost Plus Processing aligns ourselves with some of the top POS companies out there in the industry today. For example, we have perfected the car dealership industry, and our dedicated team are equipped to manage a variety of online payment forms and financing options that merchants require in this advanced ecosystem of payments. If you have a restaurant, we are proud to be able to manage the ongoing difficulties that arise from this fast-paced industry, and you're looking for pay at the table, where customers can easily swipe their cards, tap their cards, and make their payments with tip, and also have a choice of how they want to pay, we have the solutions for you here at Cost Plus. We want to help other small business owners make their dreams come true by providing the best financial support. From barbershops to liquor stores, having the ability to take payments, schedule online, and make calculating tip sharing an easy task only helps business owners put more attention and money into what really matters the most. Also, Cost Plus Processing is on the front end of AI. We can also provide you kiosks for your business, so customers can walk over to the kiosk and order anything that they want. Likewise, if you're having problem getting employees in the kitchen to work, we can also provide you robots that will actually deliver your food straight to the customer. I want to thank you for the time that you took to learn a little bit about Cost Plus Processing, and most importantly, why we are the future of merchant processing. It all is. It's all about, what is it you want to do?
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you'll do it.
You do it. Like
at the end of the day, like when that alarm goes off, it tells you get up. I'll hit that snooze button. Right. That's because you didn't want to get up.
You didn't want to get up.
You bitched out. That was all it is. It's like the alarm went off. You heard it. You chose to shut it off.
And when I started it, like I told you, I was working a job. I was working at a 9 to 5. I said to myself, I was not going to let this job hold me hostage to other things that I wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? So I made a decision. I'm not going to let a job tell me I'm not going to work out. I'm going to figure it out. If you really want it, you'll figure it out. Right. Everything that I was doing, a lot of people didn't know that when I told them I had retired a couple of years ago. They was like, so you've been working a job this whole time? You've been shooting content, running your business, doing that? I was like, yeah.
Hustling.
I was like, I was hustling. Like, how the smart way to do it is build your empire, build your job while you're working your job. You know what I'm saying? And I really took heed to that, and I really put a lot of effort and energy into it. And it's so funny, because on my way up here, I stopped to get my car washed, right?
Okay.
And I stopped to get the emissions done. I saw one of my old coworkers at the job. And he was like,
Oh, yeah?
yo, what's up, man? His name is Will. He was like, man, it's so beautiful to actually see you online and you're actually doing something you love. And I was like, man, that's cool. I was like, I'm actually getting ready to go to a podcast to talk about it. I was like, it was for me, Phil, it was like, and not to get like religious or anything like that, but
Please do.
yeah,
Okay.
because
Please do.
but it was a serious thing for me. I was in a pretty good situation. You know, I was truck driving. At some point in time, I had my own truck. I had several trucks, but I was making good money. I was cool. My life was, I was content with everything. I was happy. But I really feel it was like God, I would be in that truck and I would hear a voice. It felt like, you can do more. You can do more. You can do more. And I kept hearing it. And I kept seeing little things here and here. And I'm big on numerology. I got 111, 1111 on me. Those numbers mean something to me. And it was like a voice of God telling me, you need to do more. You can help more people. You can do more. And I'm like, why? I don't need to do anything. I'm good. My family is good. Everything is straight. But it just kept getting louder and louder until I made a decision. I was like, yo, I think I should be doing more. I can do more. You know what I'm saying? I can help more people.
Yeah.
And that's what made me make the decision to be more present online and start the businesses that I had always been wanting to. And now I get to do something that I love, and that's it.
But you know what? You're doing what you love, but you're sharing it with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. Nobody has to spend any money to see it.
Yeah.
Right? All they got to do is subscribe. Where they follow you? What's your Instagram?
MJ3000 on Instagram and official MJ3000 on TikTok and official MJ3000 on YouTube. We getting ready to roll. We getting to crank up YouTube because I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to get one of these, one of those plaques, 100,000 plaques.
Yeah, but you got 1 million subscribers on IG. I'm just getting started there.
Man, IG,
You know?
no, but this is money right here. Like Instagram is cool. I always say Instagram versus Facebook. Instagram followers they're bougie, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get a follower there, you know what I'm saying? You got your auntie and your uncle on Facebook, but YouTube makes you earn it. And I really want to I'm putting a lot of effort and energy and resources to build up my YouTube. But it is about helping people. I was on a previous podcast and they gave me my introduction, and at the end of it, it's like, man, you know, fitness is your passion, all of these different things. So it was my turn to talk. I gave them a correction. I was like, you know what? In this moment, I realized fitness isn't my passion anymore. It's actually helping others.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
you already fit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean? Like
that's
you've
just
done
nothing.
that. You're there.
I don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? But when I get on these coaching calls, man, when I get on these coaching calls, I had one guy join up last week. Shout out to my man, Adrian. He was in tears because he was just dealing with a lot, going through a heartache with a spouse, right? Kids, job. He's a firefighter, and he was just kind of going through it. Yeah. And by the end of that call, bro, I was like, man, we're gonna get this together. 2 weeks in, he's already lost like 15 pounds. That's awesome. He's on TRT now. He's changing. And we were on a call today, and I let him lead the coaching calls with all the guys in there. He was telling them what he's done in the first 2 weeks and watching him motivate everybody else. And I was just kind of sitting back like, that voice.
That's good. That's it.
I was like, this is what it is.
That's right.
I was like, this is what it's about. And I just walked away feeling great. I could have $0 in my account, but this morning I felt like a millionaire.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Absolutely.
The gratitude that I got from that was different. I wasn't expecting that, man.
No, it's enjoyable. That's why we do what we do here at WMS Podcast too. Just being able to give a platform to just ordinary people that have done extraordinary, that are doing cool shit. Yeah. You know, the neighbors doing some cool shit. You don't know anything about them, but you're about to when you listen in the WMS Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. You don't have to be famous to do something that's famous worthy. Yeah, right? Exactly. You know, type of thing. Yeah. You know, and the same goes for the other people as well. Just, you know, I always find that when it comes to the gym, you know, obviously the character of that person shows. Yeah. You know, because it does take discipline. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why you should go. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you have those demons. Everybody has those demons. Everybody has those problems in life. We're all battling in stuff. Yeah. But it's funny because I find, and I got some good friends that I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to start Monday. I'm like, well, why Monday? What's wrong with today?
Right.
What's wrong with right now?
Right now,
You know what I'm
today.
saying? Like, we get that mental thing. It's just a mental block to say, hey, we're just going to start on Monday because I want to get through the weekend. So I can do what the hell I want to. No,
Right, nah, start now.
you can start right now. Like it's that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Type of thing.
It is.
But it's like something tragic's got to happen into your life. You got to lose a girlfriend or a relationship or a pet or something. You got to go through something that leads you back to the gym somehow.
Yeah.
You know, as that outlet to work on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not just work on yourself physically, but like you said, work on yourself mentally.
Yeah.
And it's people like you that, you know, are great trainers because you give your clients that outlet.
Yes.
You know, it's more than just, hey, lift here, do a set.
Nah.
I'm counting 9 more, 6 more, 5. Okay, let's move over here and do this. Grab some water. We're getting back over here.
Yeah.
Nah, you're having real life conversations with people
man.
about real things. It's not just training your body, but it's training your mind, which is the whole shell, right?
Yeah.
Which is important. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Thank you
kudos
for
to
that.
you,
I
and
appreciate
people
that.
need to know that because, you know, that's something they get confused about.
Yeah.
And another thing too is they don't have to wait till something bad happens in your life to get to the gym.
Yeah, no,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I hate. That's one of the things that I really hate is like, because I had one guy, shout out to Daniel, he was a pre-diabetic. His wife didn't look at him the same. His kids was like, you know, they didn't really have a great relationship. Got him in my program. He dropped 60 pounds, right? And probably in about 8 or 9 months, I believe. And now he has a great relationship with his wife. He's actually working out now with his teenage son. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's great.
He's not a diabetic anymore. He did the work, but it was more than just working out. You know, the conversations that he had on the down days where he wasn't feeling the best and me pushing him, say, hey, man, you still got to show up. Well, what's going on with your life? Because I give these guys access to me. What's going on with you today, bro? How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? And they'll reach out. And I just wanted to create a safe space for men to communicate. Because as men, we go, how you feeling, man? Oh, I'm good. We always say we good, but we're not good.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
We're men. We're not going to tell you what's wrong.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you what's wrong.
know?
So I think me opening up more online and having those conversations as men, I know I get a lot of slack. They think I'm a misogynist and, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. I just think men should prioritize themselves. Women say they want men, real men, then we have to prioritize ourselves to be the best version of ourselves so we can provide and take care of you and protect you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's what a man's
It
supposed to do.
matters. Exactly.
Right,
so we have to put ourselves first. What they tell you on the airplane if it goes down.
You got to put that
Put the
oxygen
mask
you
on
first.
yourself first. Because if I'm not good, how can I help, you know, my kids and my wife and my other family members? So I'm always going to push men because I still believe, I guess this is I'm showing my age, that men are the pillars of our community.
Yeah.
I still believe that. No one's going to tell me different. You know what I'm saying?
So is that what led you into your next endeavor? Because I know as an entrepreneur, you also have the erectile dysfunctional medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. That
You know
was...
what I'm saying? So what do we got? We got King Kong.
King Kong
You know, it
Unleashed.
wasn't Viagra. It's not the, you know.
Nah, man. Actually, I got a lot of customers that come from taking like Viagra, Cialis. Man, let me tell you, bro. I fell into that by accident.
You know, there's two. I actually heard this. This is something I was told 2 weeks ago. There's 2 things that can immediately help erectile dysfunction: diet
Yes.
and exercise.
Yes.
The problem is getting your wife to do it. That's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. Have a little laughter, okay?
Oh, my God.
God. You know?
Hey, I didn't say that. He said that.
Just a little laughter. Just a little laughter.
Look, just laugh a little bit. We can have a little fun here, right? Come on, dog.
That's right.
Hey, you ain't lying, though. Jeez.
So talk about the King Kong.
The King Kong, man, I've had so much fun with it, man.
What is it? Tell us about it.
It's an all-natural male enhancement that is an alternative if you don't want to take Viagra or Cialis or something, but still hits the same.
Yeah.
I have a really, really great friend of mine, probably one of my best friends. He went to Stanford, right? And he's a chemist now.
Oh,
right?
boy.
So I approached him
design this?
several. Yeah, he helped me design it.
Okay.
So I approached him probably several years ago when I was just playing around, just doing some stuff. I was like, yo, I was in the gas station. I was like, what are all of this? What's that shit behind the counter, right?
Ginseng and all
yeah,
that.
and they was like, oh, these are, you know, I remember it was a Indian guy. He's like, oh, you know how they talk. It was like to make you a man. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just kind of kept it moving. But I kept remembering that conversation. So I approached him and I was like, yo, you know, I'm thinking about getting online, and I wanted to, start a coaching business and a workout app. I was like, but I want to start a supplement brand, right? But I want to do something different. I told him I want to do male enhancement. And I was like, but I want to keep it natural because I can't do the other things because I'm not a doctor. He's like, can we develop something that can hit just as hard but keep it natural? And I was like, I already
no pun
did.
Intended.
Right, no pun intended, right? Or intended, right? And I was like, I had done a little research, and this is pre-ChatGPT, so I couldn't go to ChatGPT and say, give me the ingredients. Yeah. I studied this shit for like almost 6 months about specific ingredients and how they work and how you combine them and how they could turn it into a great product. So I sent him all the information I got. He was like, oh, man, this is pretty good. You did this on your own? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, we can fine-tune some things. I'll get back to you. I thought he forgot about me. I didn't hear from him about 6 weeks. He's like, hey,
He's a
what
scientist. That's
yeah.
why.
I was like, forget it. I guess it's over. He hits me up out the blue. He's like, MJ, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just chilling in my home. He's like, yo, come over. Come to the crib. I was like, okay, I'm on the way. He's like, I got something for you. I didn't even ask. I was like, okay, this might be it. Went over there. He's like, all right, I came up with a formula. This is what I came up with. So he gave me a couple pills to test out. He's like, try one, let me know your thoughts, and get back to me. I was like, okay, cool. I was like,
you're married at this time?
No, not married yet.
Okay.
I actually used it on her the first time. Now we're married. There you go.
There you go.
So I took it on the way home. Make a long story short, I called him that night. I called him that night around 11 o'clock. I said, hey, bro, I think we got a home run. This shit hit harder, pun intended, like a mother. I was like, bro, it works. You know what I'm saying? And I you're talking about it from an individual who's never really had issues like that, but I noticed a big difference in it, right? So I was like,
size too?
Yeah, I was just maximized, right? Because even she told me, she was like, yeah, I can definitely feel a difference. You're fuller. Your girth is bigger. You know what I'm saying? You're harder.
All the blood's going there.
Yeah, all the blood. I mean, I was fucking rocked up like a.
Feel you're going to pop?
Like, yeah, it was hard. Really hard. Pause. So then I was like. That's
kind of scary. I'm just saying, big old you. With
listen, man, I'm hammering nails, man. It was serious. And I was like, yo, I think I got something. And then, Phil, let me tell you this. I did nothing with it because I wasn't on social media yet. So it sat for years, and I was just selling it to friends of mine because I ended up learning how to manufacture.
You were just using it.
I was just using it for myself.
You were like,
I would give it to my friends.
That's my own hidden secret.
Yeah, my gym buddies. So what ended up happening was one day, a friend of mine, he's actually a dancer. He's a stripper. And I was selling it to him and his friends, right? And one day he comes and he's like, MJ, why don't you sell this shit?
They dancing with that shit on?
Yeah, you know they got
dance with a heart on?
Yeah, you know they have to be. You know they have to be like that's what they do.
I know they have hard.
Yeah, they got to be hard when they dance.
I figure that shit's floating around.
No, that shit is like going crazy, bro.
Girls in the audience, huh?
Yeah.
The male strip clubs again. The girls are getting sex.
Yes.
Well, I'll be damned.
One of my good friends, shout out to my boy Cowboy.
That's a little different than the males.
No. Like they make majority of their money as escorts.
Really?
Yeah, it's not from dancing. A part of their money comes from
get paid
from tips
to have sex.
Yes,
I'll do it for free.
No, some of these women they're not your ideal woman, so you got to have a little help, bro. These are women that are looking for fantasies. Not all of them, but you know what I'm saying.
I hear you.
So he comes to me. He's like, bro, you need to sell this. He was like, yo, I've given it to all of the guys that they keep asking me for it. Yeah. And so at the time, I was like, okay, cool. So then the explosion happened on social media for me. And then I was like, yo, I told my wife, I was like, I think it's time to roll it out. So what I did was I had a horrible name for it. Horrible name. It was like, I think it was like masculine energy, something so lame. Really? I was like, what the fuck? I even said, I was like, what am I going to do? So what I did, to full circle, I went back to that gas station.
Yeah.
And I said, let me have all of those products on the back shelf. He's like, all of them? I was like, yeah, all of them. He probably thought I was about to go crazy.
You're gonna go something tonight. You're gonna die tonight with a big old heart on.
So I took all of the products, I laid them out at home on the dining room table, and me and my wife were looking at them. It was like they all have one thing in common. They have this animalistic apex name. Rhino, gorilla, all of these different names. So I was like, yo, what if we just call it King Kong? King Kong Unleashed, because you'll be unleashed like a maniac, right? And then that's how the name came about. So we rolled it out. It was slow at first. The first week, I probably only had maybe for the first 2 weeks, maybe like 20 sales, right? It's like, damn, man, this ain't. And I'm still trucking at the time.
Right.
So I'm on the road. I'm in South
Dude,
Georgia.
you should be putting them in all the gas stations.
Yeah, but I got to see if it works. So I'm on the road. This is no joke. So I'm getting ready to pull over. I was pulling over in a Publix parking lot, and I was going to give me something to eat. I had my food with me. So I was going to sit down, chill, and eat. So I'm sitting there, and my phone starts to go off. If anyone if you have a Shopify account, you know what that ching-ching sounds like. So for the rest of that day, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And what happened was all those people who bought before, they were returning customers. So it's like, oh shit, I got something. It works. Because it was working just on me and a few friends. I didn't know if it would work for the masses. Right. And I'm talking about cha-ching, cha-ching. And that one day, I was like, this is gonna get me out of this truck. And that one day I made $700.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
And you were like, oh shit.
And I was like, oh shit.
Can't wait to wake up tomorrow.
And you know what it was, Shada? It was a great feeling because I feel like everyone wants to experience this. Even to the day, waking up and seeing that I've made money in my sleep. Yeah. It's a different feeling. To make money in your sleep. And I was like, yo, God has truly blessed me.
That's the American dream right there. The question is, do you know how to do that?
Exactly.
We talk about money. And if not, you know what? And you got some kids.
Yeah.
Boom. Money management right here. You can get this on Amazon.
Yes.
Your boy, Wham Bam, go ahead, wrote this book, Money Management for Beginners. The best $20 you will ever spend. It will save you millions. It'll bring millions to you and stuff. You got to get on Amazon. That's the only copy right there. You got to get on Amazon to get it. But go to Amazon. We'll throw the link in there. We'll throw the link in there right now.
Yes.
And
can I take this?
Get your book. Get your book. You got to go on Amazon and get it. You got to go on Amazon.
I'm gonna get one today.
You get one today.
I need one of those
the best
today.
$20 you'll ever spend. Because you got to have rules, man. You got to know what to do with the money.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make the money, but the question is, what do you do with the money once you make it? Yeah. Especially these young kids. They don't know what to do. What are they doing? They're going to spend it. They're going to go spend it. Go buy some new shoes. They're going to go buy a new vehicle. And, they're just going to blow it. And you got to have some rules. I'm not saying there's a portion in that for that.
Yeah,
to
sure.
do that. But if you have rules, you take 10% away. Boom, you're gonna put certain things away and stuff. So
I will be a testament. I went through that period because, and I'm buying your book. I'm serious.
Yeah, you should.
Before we leave today,
Absolutely.
I will be purchasing that book. So check this out. I fell into that trap because I had never seen that type of money in my lifetime so fast. You know, so it was like kind of like a high. And when I started seeing $20,000 a month, I was going crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. I straight up. I obviously.
That's huge.
I was doing some of the dumbest shit you would ever think. I bought a Rolex. Yeah. I bought a car. I was just doing stupid stuff that I didn't.
You didn't have the book.
Because I didn't have the book, and it wasn't. It wasn't until like a couple of years in, I was like, yo, I'm making all this money, but I don't see it. Where is it going? Right. And then I had to start changing things. And it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? When I wasn't prepared. Right. I was doing all the necessary things, but I wasn't prepared for that. What you're saying
is what happens to majority of people in America. I did a lot of coaching. I coached a lot of ball, a lot of kids. Yeah. From 5 years old up to, right into professional and stuff. But, the one thing is as they got older, they would come to me to mentor them. As far as, hey, what should I do, coach? My money, I'm making a little bit here. And, I got some NIL money. What should I do? Where should I put it? Where should it go? Yeah. Instead of just spending it, they started asking questions, which was great. Yeah. And I never say no to kids. I always bring them in. We sit down. I mentor a bunch of kids. But it got to the point where I didn't have any more time. I can't make another me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Course. So I was like, you know what? If I put it in a book, then they can all read it, and it can be access to everybody can have it. And it's really simple. You can read it in 30 minutes. Listen, I never read books. I read Cliff Notes growing up and going through school because, as I told you, my mind's racing. I didn't have time to sit down. I'd be reading the same page over and over again. Yeah. So I made a Cliff Notes. I made it small and simple so everybody can understand it. Yeah. And just some of the simplest rules, to do. For example, I'll ask you, who's your partner in business right now?
My wife.
Your wife. Your wife is definitely your partner because she owns it. But who else is your partner? If you weren't married, who's your partner?
For my coaching community, I got a guy in South Africa I'm a partner with, Daniel.
Who else is your partner?
That's it.
No, that's not it. You have another partner, you see? And this is the part that people forget about. It's called the IRS, okay?
Oh,
yeah. They're your partner.
Okay.
They're your partner because they're going to get a portion of every dollar you get.
They're coming to knocking, too.
Oh, they're going to get it.
They're going
to get their money.
Yeah.
So they're partner. So, and I always tell people, especially if you're by yourself, you have your own business.
Yeah.
How much is the IRS going to take? They're going to take 25, 30% of your business.
Right.
Okay. Because that's their cut.
Right.
Then you have to learn how to live off the same amount that your partner's living off of. So you take 30%, you learn to live off of that. And then you have 40% left over. We invest those 40%, 10%, 10%, 10%. The whole book will tell you all this stuff. But you do that at a young age or any age. These people at 30, they're already millionaires.
And you can scale.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, you can scale because now you could still buy the Rolex, but I'm buying the Rolex with my investment money that's earned me residual income, so I can go out and do that. You know what I mean? Type of thing. It's like this: when I made $300,000, I didn't just go buy my Lambo. Okay, I bought an investment property that then would return me money. And when that money returned me $300,000, I went out and bought my Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. So it's, and it's trying to work smarter, and utilizing the money, because if you got money, you can make money.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
Why do I know? Okay, I hear that quite often,
Yeah.
right? I think I was the guy that owns Barstool, right? I think I seen him on Shannon Sharp podcast, and he said something similar to that. He's like, when you have money, the more easier it is to make money because you know how. He's like, I can make a few calls today and figure out how to make $5 million like that. It's nothing, right?
Sure.
Because he said, I have the knowledge and understanding now. And then I heard someone else say something. The first million is the hardest.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's the hardest. But
Absolutely.
after that, is there
easier.
any truth to that?
Absolutely, 100%. First million was way the hardest. You make 200. Oh shit, I can get to 500 million. I want to be a billionaire. Like you can get up to that, and you can do it. Like anybody can do this. Anybody watch. Anybody can do this. You don't have to be a trust fund baby to have money.
Right.
You just have to be able to have the skills to go out there and work and to learn to know what to do with your money. That's the key. And part of that is going to require a lot of sacrifice. And if you're willing to do that, you sacrifice at a young age so you can do whatever the frick you want when you get in your middle age or even older. You know what I'm saying? I always wondered why these people were having their dream houses when they were 65, 70 years old. When they were retired. So now they're going to go build their dream house. Well, you got nobody to live in it. You got your family, your kids, they're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got your dream house for just you, or just you and your wife if you're lucky enough they're both alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how about having your dream house when you're in your 40s? You know what I'm saying? When you're in 30, well, how do you do that? Well, you got to prepare prior to.
Right.
And it can start right from a young age. You got a granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? She should already be looking. I'm sure she has birthday parties.
Yeah.
She had a birthday party. She had a christening. She get baptized and that stuff. People are giving presents, right? They're giving gifts. They're giving presents. Instead of going out and spending that $50 or $20 or whatever was in the envelope, you know what? You maintain the same rules. You start investing right now, 10% of that money put away to certain things.
Exactly.
Because the reality is this: you give a kid $20, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Walmart, and what are they going to spend?
Oh, toys.
They're going to spend the $20 on toys.
Yeah.
But if you give them $5, they'll go to the dollar store. They'll still get a toy.
They'll still get a toy.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the same day, they still have the same smiles because they went and they spent all their money that they had in their hand. You just gave them 5 instead of 20.
So let me
know
ask
what
you
I'm
a question, because you said the youth, right?
Yeah.
And my audience are usually middle-aged men,
And that's
right?
fine. They can
So
start.
how
It's
does
never
that
too
how
late
does
to
that
start.
rules? Do those same rules
Same
in your
rules
book
apply.
apply to the guys that
100%.
are older?
Yes, 100%. Same rules always apply. Or what if you started as a baby and your parents already started that rule with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. When you go to the bathroom, where do you go?
Go to the
Go to the restroom.
yeah, go to the bathroom.
Why not right here? Why not just drop your pants and go right now?
No.
Not because society tells you that's not what you were taught. You were taught to do something to find a restroom and go to the restroom.
Right.
It's all about habits and what you're taught. Same thing goes with money. Well, if you teach your children at a young age, this is what you do, they don't know any different.
Yeah.
I used to go to school. I used to have a mustard sandwich, until a kid told me, he's like, hey, man, where's your bologna? Where's your meat? Oh, no, I thought this was, we didn't have much, man, growing up. We didn't have water growing up. So it was like, I thought that was normal. It was normal to me. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you something I witnessed being in your home within the first 15 minutes of a conversation I had with you and your son.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation recently with my wife and actually my daughter. I was watching a video on YouTube. No, I'm sorry, on Instagram. A guy was talking about Rockefeller, about how they made school into a prison. They don't teach you about money and certain things. They want to make you a slave to a 9-to-5. And they just, they make things unattainable. This is what you're supposed to do to get to your dream, be 60, or and even now you hear people talking about Most millionaires don't make their first million into their 50s
That's
or their
right.
60s.
Warren Buffett made all his money after 50. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so one of the things that I said, I was going to tell you this before I had left. I was like, you're different. You're doing what every man I feel like wants to do with their sons and their children. I know the things that you're teaching your son because of the way he talks.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I mean that
I
seriously.
appreciate that.
The
That
way
means a
he
lot to me.
talks.
That means a lot to
I
me.
learned something from him within the first 5 minutes of our conversation. And I said to myself, this is what it's about. Not sending your kid to a school so they can teach him how to be in a hamster wheel. No, I'm going to teach you how to make money and, more importantly, how to invest it and save it.
Yeah. And how
You
to
feel
treat
me?
other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
The
important
biggest thing. Yeah. How you treat other
exactly.
people,
That's
right?
the key.
I don't want you to be a
'Cause
douchebag.
listen, it's all based on relationships, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the people that you meet, and if you make a good impression and you treat them right,
Yeah.
you don't know who you're going to be sitting next to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you don't know who's coming around.
Yeah.
This is not coincidence. God has a reason for everything.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life anyway.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
It's
Type of thing.
about your network. I remember
Yes.
I was watching this video with Kevin Samuels a long time ago, and it made me feel, it gave me anxiety, right? Because he said something. He was like, can you be successful on your own? Yes. But the most successful people have a wolf pack, and they have a network.
Absolutely.
They have a network where I can pick up the phone and call someone and say, oh, hey, I know someone who does this. I know someone who does this.
Yep, I got a guy.
That's a real network. And you find most successful people, especially men, they have a really solid network of individuals that work together to have a common
You
goal.
got a good network, you got a good net worth.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
it in a nutshell.
And why I felt this heavy level of anxiety, because I'm on myself out here. A lot of people always ask me, who's your partner? Who's this? How did you build this?
Now you know.
What did you do this? And I was like, man, I just do all this on my own because I don't know anyone. I don't have any relationships. And it's interesting because every time I go on podcasts or people see me out, it's like, oh man, you're completely different than I thought you would be. Like, you're cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You
He's
can
a big,
articulate.
intimidating guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You can articulate yourself and you have this level of humbleness. And that just comes from my faith. You know, I am Muslim. So, you know, I'm always very, very, you know, I'm very humble. Like,
That's right.
And sometimes some individuals would say to me, oh, you're too humble because
You're never too humble.
yeah,
That's
I don't
bullshit.
understand that.
You're never too humble.
Yeah,
Never.
just because it's like when I go out, I was like, my wife, she was like, when we first was like traveling heavily to different countries, and like people would recognize me, and I would be like, yo, this is what? I was like, I would just be blown away by that. And it would always be, she would be like, these people like really like you and they rock
Yeah.
with you, and you just, it's like, yeah, but it's like, I wasn't expecting that. That is so cool. And, you know, I talk to everybody. I shake everyone's hand because I really want you to understand I'm just like you. I'm no different.
right.
I got it out the mud. I'm here. I'm no different than you just because you see me online, whatever it is. You may
Amen.
see me working out, but I'm no different than you. And for the life of me, I have one friend of mine, and I don't even necessarily know if he's a friend because he said to me recently, he's like, yeah, but you too humble. You really need to be like more. You need to be, and it made me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, then I would be going against who I am naturally.
Correct.
Yeah, I may not drive a big, huge, fancy car or something like that, but I'll get there eventually one day. You know, God willing, inshallah, everything will happen the way it's supposed to happen.
Right.
I'm going to be in front of the right audience, the right people. But right now, I'm going to just do the work. You know what I'm saying? One of the things you just said about your book, sacrifice. I've sacrificed a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And now I'm at a point where I want to even sacrifice more to go to a whole nother level. And I know that requires belief, humbleness, and being
the
able
will.
to listen and
You
understand.
got the will to want. Like,
Yeah,
you have that.
the
You
want.
already see that.
Yeah.
You already see you're capable of it. You wouldn't
Yeah.
be who you are today, and you wouldn't have gained and gotten to where you are. Eating healthy, that's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Picking up them weights is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you got women all over you all the time, and you're married. That's
Yeah.
a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say, boom, I'm good.
I'm
you know,
good.
you
I'm
got
good.
children. You
Yeah.
know, you got parties, you got birthday parties to attend. You got to take care of them. That's
Yeah.
a sacrifice. Like, those are things that you know you're capable of. What you can't teach is the want. People got to have the want to be able to do it. Anybody can do anything that they want to do
Yeah.
if they actually believe that they want to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a firm believer of. Some people can call me out on that. That's fine. But I really believe there's nothing in this world that you can't do if you really, really want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's 24 hours for everybody.
Yeah.
And we're all human.
Yeah.
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like, yeah, I might not get there as quick as you. I might not be able to lift 600 pounds right away, but I know I can.
I know I
and
can.
I know I can get there. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In time, if I put in the work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Type of thing.
That discipline, and I think for me, because I've just recently shared my faith online, and a lot of people be asking me, it's like, yo, like, I didn't know you were Muslim, and I didn't know you were this, I didn't know you were that. Yeah, I pray 5 times a day. And I was like, well, what does prayer do for you? It's just a reminder of saying thank you. I appreciate you. It keeps me connected and it keeps me obedient. Like you say, with the women, for me, that was probably my biggest challenge in life. Being online and having access, or so many women being able to see me, it was only because of my faith that I've been able to be obedient within that. You know what I'm saying? And
How's your relationship with your wife? Like, I mean, it's got to be hard on her.
Well,
Like,
actually,
I mean,
no, because I've provided. I think in the beginning, it was when we were first dating. She knew I was dating other women, and I was very open and honest about that. And I didn't hide anything. But then I'm to be completely transparent with you, Phil. Was like I wasn't practicing, as we call it, the deen in Islam. Your deen is just your faith, your discipline, your structure, your praying, your fellowshipping. You're giving to the needy, things like that, your deen. I wasn't in my deen heavy like that. I was just going through the motions. I was kind of lost with it. And it wasn't until we officially got married where I said, okay, I want to dedicate my life to you. It seemingly everything in my life was going great. I had the woman that I adored, the love of my life. I had a good business. Everything was in place. My relationship with my kids wasn't the best, my older ones, especially my oldest daughter, but I knew it would get better eventually. But it wasn't until things started to be stripped away from me.
Yeah.
And it was very humbling.
Wake-up call.
Yeah, it was very humbling where I said, nah, it was my wife, because I put her first after God, that brought me closer to my faith and my deen, where I started being more disciplined. I started being more obedient in my faith, and I was just locked in. And sure enough, Phil, shortly after that, it wasn't even about things. It was just peace and calmness. I wasn't chasing money anymore. I wasn't chasing to be here
Because
and there.
you had the ultimate. You had somebody that was going to stand beside you.
Yeah.
Okay. And give you the support.
Yeah.
And as a man, that's what we want. We want support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We want to know that what we're doing is okay.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody's going to stick by us at all times. So
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you got the ultimate there. So
Yeah,
congrats to you.
And regardless of whatever your faith is, right? I truly feel like this. You should not necessarily fear God. I don't have fear of God. I had fear of disappointing him, because I know he's going to love me regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, why I don't step out on my wife, or why I don't cheat or doing these things, because and why I don't do things that would be immorally, because I don't want to disappoint him. I know he's still going to love me. I know I'm not perfect, and we're all going to make mistakes, but I don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah. Nah, you're
You know what I'm saying?
No,
and I don't want to be
I know
punished.
totally.
Because I've realized too, Phil, and I know because I told you I'm working hard to build this compound for my family. And I really feel like if I make a mistake, or I'm not disciplined or obedient, I'm going to be punished. And I feel like they're going to feel the results of that.
Yeah.
So that gives me chills, and even makes me emotional in this point where it's like, no, I have to stay on point. I have to stay disciplined, because so many people are counting on me. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be here to make sure they're important. And those are the things I teach in my community. It's like, yo, it's bigger than just me. Everyone's depending on us as men. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have to be there has to be something bigger than just me.
Right.
And that's God. You know, I don't care what your faith is. You need him to lean on to guide you. You know what I'm saying?
My biggest fear is letting him down.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you know, my thought was, you know, you go up there to heaven, because I know that he's going to let me in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a good person.
Right.
But, you know, he sits there and says, you know, this was the Phil Benamino you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, you did well, you're here, but this is what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't pay attention enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, all these things that you say that you want to do, and you better do them.
Yeah.
Because God's maybe saying, hey, I had this plan for you, man.
Right.
This King Kong was the way. You
It
got
was
to
it.
fulfill this.
You gotta
this
fulfill
training class. You got to get this thing going.
Yeah.
I connected you guys for a reason, right?
Yeah. And then it's like too. I remember someone saying this older guy said this to me a long time ago. I didn't even know who he was. He just said this to me. We was in the gym. He was like, God gives us all gifts in some form or fashion, right? Whatever that gift is, if you do not utilize it, you will be punished for it, or you will have it taken away from you. So the gifts and skills and the attributes that I've developed, I have to feel like give it to others and share it with others, whether it's working on your body, working on your faith, working on your marriage. Anything that I've learned, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm going to give it to you. Here,
Right.
This is what I know. Here, give it to me, because
awesome.
I feel like if it's given to me, this gift that I've got, I have to share it. And I feel like it would be a sin for me not to share it. You know what I'm saying? So I just take it very serious. I'm just in a different, I don't know, I'm just in a different place in my life.
Nah, that's great.
You know
That's
what I mean?
great. No, I can see that. That's great.
It's
and
not
you're
about
content.
it. Yeah.
And that's what it should be. And that's why you're going to continue to be successful. Man,
Thank you.
I'm really, really big on aura. I feel really good. I feel like you're just touching. You're not even touching the brim of where you're about to go.
Man,
you know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that.
I really see big things for you.
Man.
I appreciate your time, sharing, opening up your heart to us.
I appreciate
Open up your story. We could talk here all day,
I
man.
know, bro.
We could
I don't
talk
even
here
know how
all
long
day.
we've been going, man.
We'll have to do a part 2, man, because we could talk all day.
I
and
know,
stuff.
man.
Because I know you got big things with this King Kong. Even more so with your app and with your personal training.
Yes, sir.
Guys, go follow this guy, but beyond follow him, go join.
Yes.
Go join. What's it, $14.99 a month?
Yeah, the
I mean, that's
app,
nothing.
14, yeah.
That's a Happy Meal. I mean, these days for a kid, that's one.
Yes,
if you're
yes.
lucky, you might be able to get a Happy Meal.
Back
So,
to basics training, man. Come and rock with me, man. Follow me on all my socials, MJ3000, man. I love to work with you guys. I love to just have you guys in here with me, and like with Phil, I feel something, the connection between us. Like, I don't have a whole lot of people I communicate and talk to. We got our numbers, so let's stay in touch, bro. But
Absolutely.
I love what you've done. More importantly, I love what you've done with your son, bro. That's special, man.
That's awesome.
That's special.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it from MJ himself, baby. You know what? It takes discipline. Get yourself out of bed and start showing up, man. I don't care if it's 3 in the morning. I don't care if it's 4 in the morning. The bottom line is show up. And as your boy Wham Bam always says, if your life was a movie, would it be worth watching? And if the answer is no, then stop being ordinary and start being extraordinary. So next Wednesday, baby, stay positive and keep testing negative. And I'm out.